Good evening, good evening, good evening. What it do, people? What it do, what it do, what it do. Uh, as you all know, I am A to the Bizzle, AB in the house, and I have joining with me live. It seems like she's been gone forever, the way people have acted and asked about her. I have joining with me, sitting beside me, the missus, the executive producers. Good evening, good evening.
Hello. How are you people?
We're better, I think. Are we better? Are you better? Somewhat?
It's better.
You're
It's
better?
better day today.
It's a
Better day.
better day today. Each day is a day. It's a better day today. I'm gonna remove that logo. I've been trying to bring it downstream, but I'll just remove it so it won't be covering my baby face. We'll do that like that. We also have in the house tonight the Honorable Trap Gentleman, J.E., also known as, because if I just say AKA, I'm tough to get to the breadbasket. Also known as the Honorable Trap Gentleman, but he's most respectfully known as Big Unc. Make sure you put big in front of that motherfucker because the twins have arrived. What's up,
For
Unc?
real, for real. What's shaking with it? What's going
Congratulations.
on with it? I
It's
know,
a
I know.
beautiful day in Zamunda. It's a beautiful day in Zamunda. How does it feel to be a
Shit, shit. I don't know, man. I'm a little bit between Wakanda and Zamunda, so you know how it is.
Your ass is in between
Shit,
kicking a motherfucker ass and taking a motherfucker ass, and it's okay. Them emotions are gonna be coming and going.
for
We
real,
understand it's always a beautiful thing when we can bring them babies in the world. It makes us so
for
happy.
real,
I know I've been probably happiest since my little grandbaby has come into the world, so I ain't tripping. So
real
get
tough.
your happy on. Oh, don't look at me because you way worse than me. Skylar say you way worse than
Hmm.
me. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
She
saying.
is. She is. I
Before
don't
we
know why
get
she
this,
pretending.
look, we got some exciting shit for you guys tonight. Some things that you need to learn. I hope you all
Oh
did your
wait, before we
homework.
say that, let me say thank you to everyone who called, text, and checked on me. Thank you to the Mrs. over here because she took good care of me for the past 7, 8 days.
Just 7, 8 days. No.
Well, especially the past 7 or 8 days, because a couple of those days I can't even remember. But when I last saw her face, I went out of there crying, and I came
So we
back not even remembering where I was. So I am so thankful for the care that she took of me, my cousin, who I headbutt with all the time, but she came through that thing. I love her like I love uh, a play stepchild, but
play stepchild sister.
yes,
She gonna cuss your ass out.
she know I love her. Lakeisha Ferguson came through that thing,
Uh,
and like no one else could. Big Up came through that thing and made his presence known. So thank y'all so much for loving on me
Y'all can see these flowers on my table.
and taking such good care of me. I really
That's
appreciate it.
sweet. It was amazing. I'm gonna put the ring video up of the man trying to hold the flowers, and he had to sit the flowers down because they was heavy, and he leaned up against the door talking about shit. The motherfucker was tired. But we want to thank all of you for the well wishes, concerns, and prayers. It was everything to know that we had so many people in our corner and supporting us. It just made us feel great, and I think it helped us on recovery. Because in about 2 more hours, I was gonna have to break free because this one here is different. She's difficult and different and spoiled. And so, but we got through that thing. We got
What
through
did
that
I
thing.
say? I'm not spoiled,
You
Jonathan.
well
I'm
taken.
just well maintained.
Okay, spoiled. Anyway, so before we get started, because we don't want anything to taint this segment tonight, I do want to send out our thoughts, prayers, and condolences to all of those affected by the mass shooting on the Cooper Road last night. At today's count, there were 4 people that had lost their lives, countless others who had been injured in this situation. Is just a tragedy because, from my understanding, this family has been doing this block party for about 10 years now and never had an incident. and we're at six. See, Liddy, I haven't watched the news in the last couple of hours. We're at 6 deaths. Um, it's just a horrible situation to think that right here in little bitty Shreveport that these children, because it's children, most of those that I have heard were young people, children, and they're beefing over some rap bullshit. Um,
They
that's
just
not
had
even.
another
They
one.
just had another one. You know what your children are and aren't doing. We see most of these children with guns in their hands on their Instagrams, their Facebooks, on their social media accounts. If it was my child and I saw him posting a gun or posting weed or posting money, if I ain't beat his ass, I'd give somebody else the permission to beat his
For
ass.
real. For real.
And I would not allow it. You can't sit in my house and live in my house and post guns and weed and drugs, ammo and money and let
And I'm gonna
people
let you
think that they
slide.
can come run up in my house.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
So with that being said, we just want to send our condolences. I heard that the Cooper Road reunion, which was being planned, has been halted. Someone made the post and said that the Motown reunion, August the 6th, was being halted. However, I spoke with the owner of the Motown reunion, Tasha Taylor. This is her event. She said they are outside. Of course, there will be security present. She always has security. This is her fourth annual event. Tasha Taylor, August 6th. This is for the Motown reunion. So I did want to, there was some misleading information. Some people were saying it was canceled, and she said, no, it is not canceled. Please let people know we will have security inside and out. It is an outside event, but they will have security at the gates and at the doors. So I
That's
did
what's up.
want to just put that out there and let people know you know what your children are doing. And
Right.
this will not stop because those people affected, instead of talking to the police, they will talk to each other. There will be retaliation, and this is just an ongoing vicious cycle.
Right.
Throughout the country this past holiday weekend, um, they had in Fort Worth, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, Maryland, and I believe Washington. In each of
Yeah.
these cities, they have had some type of mass shooting, block parties that have gone bad, or some type of gatherings where they have been shooting up. And like I say, you all know who they are. You all know who they are. You
They
know
do.
where your sons and daughters are. You know where your boyfriends and baby daddies are. You know who's doing the shootings and the killings. But instead of you all, to me, that's taking the coward out. You all say, I ain't no snitch. To me, you're being a coward because you're putting the whole city at risk. When we
Right.
can't go outside and live our life, we work hard to live well. So if we have to be scared or worried about going outside simply because your black asses do not want to hold your fucking children accountable, that is a
Right.
goddamn problem. So you can
Right.
flag this live as much as you want. She's tapping me on the knee. Let's
Mhm.
keep on going.
Mhm.
Okay. Because you know
Well,
I'm
I
not
mean, it's
the
the truth. It's the truth. And
it's
people got to
true.
be honest with the situation. And people got to understand too when we talked about people not snitching or not telling, that comes from a line of organized crime that were actually taking care of people in the community. That's
Correct.
what we meant when we say you don't snitch. You don't
That's
snitch on
not
the
what
motherfucker that's
we
paying
talking about
everybody
some
bills.
raggedy motherfuckers that
Yeah,
is just
we
out
talking
here
about
shooting up the block.
because at this point y'all ain't protecting the community no more. Ain't none of y'all no bosses. Ain't none of y'all real. Ain't none of that. You ain't none of that. Because at this point you taking life and ain't no benefit behind it.
Right.
For real. And ain't no benefit behind it. You taking lives and you making these funeral homes rich.
Yeah. Those very people that you
For
swear
real.
to not snitch on are the very people shooting at your mom in them house when you get
Right.
locked up or when you go down. They're not taking
Right.
care of your people. Like Joseph said, those people are dead and gone. They are
Yeah.
gone. Do you
Mm-mm.
understand? It's
Nah.
nobody out here making sure your mama and your baby is good while you locked down for the next 15 years. That shit stopped a
Mm-mm.
long time ago. And unless
Long
you
time
are
ago.
involved in organized crime, and that means having a hierarchy, that means having making yourselves accountable. You have to have
Right.
accountability when you're in organized crime. So
Exactly.
anyway,
Yeah.
No life insurance having want me to buy a fried fish place plate eating mother suckers.
Hmm.
Okay. Anyway, back to
Yeah.
what I was on. I don't wanna take a lot of time. I just want to take care of that, do a little housekeeping and
Real
let
talk.
people know. Yeah. And now, anyway, on last week, girl Pam, while you were recuperating, Jonathan and I were supposed to be on here very briefly. However, that never goes right because we always go in the wrong direction some kind of way. And so on last week, Jonathan gave the ladies an assignment.
Hmm.
He
Okay.
gave the men an assignment as well. I don't know. I'm curious to see if the men actually did their assignment. So the assignment on last week, I put it in the comments. We were to talk this week about edging and erogenous zones.
Hmm.
Edging. For those
Absolutely.
of you who don't know what edging is the method of stretching out. What's up, Mark? Stretching out how long it takes to reach orgasm for one or both partners. Though it's usually thought of as a technique for men to last longer, meaning hold their orgasm, anyone can benefit from edging. Partners learn to communicate and completely stop sexual stimulation before
Correct.
orgasm. So, with
Correct.
that being said, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining in. Sharina, Mark, Nashanti, Lily, Mayor Sunshine, Glorious, Lydia, what's up, cousin? Kelly Speed. I think I've gotten everybody about Mr. Johnson. What's up? What it do? What it do? So we here. Yeah, you tuned in just in time, Lee. What you know about that edging? So, Jonathan, I'm gonna just
What's up?
come right at it. Has edging been beneficial for you? The screen black. That ain't nobody but the devil.
What happened?
Something. I guess some idiot trying to call the same time that I'm trying to be on the podcast.
They say on this
Yeah.
damn podcast.
Yeah, for real.
Uh,
Find you something safe to do. But yeah,
sir.
no. So the discussion for today is what we're gonna talk about is the concept of I know every man thinks he's the best in the bed and everything else, but the
I will
situation we're gonna
say every
talk about.
woman does too. The women think
True,
the same shit.
true, absolutely, absolutely. But I was gonna kick off with them because edging initially was brought into place to create um, a space to avoid pre-ejaculation and to provide a space to last longer with the women that you're spending your time with. And so initially, edging was created that in a space of self pleasure first, and it was created in order for you to decide that hey, when you are practicing masturbation or whatever, instead of you assuming that you're supposed to just quickly get to the end goal, it was more or less about the concept of can you create a space of being able to reach a climax without going over the edge. And so what happens a lot of times when we get to that point, and I don't care what nobody say, there's a space like this here between your climax and the ejaculation. So I'm gonna do this: climax, ejaculation. There's a space right here in between that avoids you from pain gets on my nerve. There's a space in between
You so goofy.
because we can't help ourselves. There's a space in between that right in the middle where you can actually stop yourself and bring yourself back down enough to still enjoy the climax without the ejaculation.
So,
And
is
so,
this what
yeah,
is? Let me ask a question. So, is this? I mean, it's been 30 plus years, but when a man used to be like, "Oh, wait a minute, hold on," that was him trying to stop himself because he knew he was going to ejaculate
it,
too quickly.
absolutely. And see, before we even get to the partner, this is just about self. So before we
Right.
even get to pointing fingers at anybody else, let's focus on self in this one.
Okay.
So in that concept right there, when you find yourself in between is the concept of now there's some other education that comes with that too. There's an education for you to also know that as much as we talk about females and women doing kegels, There are male kegels also. So there are exercises that you can do to exercise yourself to avoid yourself from the ejaculation. That's everything ranging from your breathing techniques, it's everything ranging from you actually being able to work your muscle, which is your prostrate, in order to stop yourself from ejaculating. Well, in that process of you doing that, it's all in your head. It's all in how you work your body, your breathing, and everything else, where you can escalate yourself just like this. You bounce it right between that point and your climax before you even touch ejaculation. Reality is, when you're dealing with a woman, you know one thing about it. If you got to warm the oven up first. And when you warm the oven up and you put yourself in that position, that woman wants to enjoy those multiple orgasms at the same time. Because let's be honest here, it ain't too many of you motherfuckers that can ring off that nut and then be right back into the game. You know,
Don't
I'm
even,
sorry.
don't even say it.
Yeah, no,
Before
I'm
you
just
even get
saying.
started. Cause she finna
Look,
say something, that man gonna be ready to windmill us in a minute.
look. Because some of them, it's some of them that fall, it's some of them that fall off the wagon. And then when they try to get back on the wagon, they stood and saying, give me about 5 or 10 minutes. And it really be an hour because they over to the side snoring. But we ain't going to go there. We ain't going to talk about nobody real bad today. we going to be
Some of them
nice.
don't even try to get back on the wagon. They just start apologizing. So I'm just
Okay, and
saying.
then here
Didn't I
she
tell
go.
her that? Didn't I tell her that man gonna be trying to
Wait a minute.
windmill her? It's been
So,
37 years and she won't let that
so,
bullshit go.
I'm just
so
saying.
Kelly he said, what does the breathing sound like? There's no
Wait,
sound to the breathing.
I
This
didn't
is
even see that
internal. This
question.
is a
Wait, hold on.
it's
Wait,
an
Kelly.
internal breathing.
You're
Yeah.
taking
Now,
it
if
too
you got a
fast,
nigga that's on
goddamn it.
top of you, talking about, so if you got somebody on top of you in the moment that they're trying to stop themselves from that going, sweetheart, you're not supposed to hear that. So no, we're not talking about nothing that you're gonna hear. What is it? What they're doing is in the process of your regular breathing in your day. There's a breathing that you can do. For instance, we're gonna get off of sex real quick. You do know that in order to help you go to sleep, there's a way that you can breathe in and hold your breath for 3 seconds and release that allows your brain to actually fall asleep. Your brain and all up here controls your entire body. So no, it's not something you gonna hear. It's a concept of you just having a controllable breathing that you're doing in order to stop yourself from ejaculating too fast. That's what you're doing. And so,
And so, and so, in all of this, you said that you because you're talking specifically to the man. You're a man. You're talking
correct.
specific. So, in all of this, you're telling them what should they?
Take their time. Take their time.
Slow
Take
down.
slow down, because at the end of the day, here's what's different. If they understand the concept of reading the breathing of the woman that they are with, they'll actually figure out something. There's a space for them to know that, oh, her breathing is kind of changing. It's getting a little sporadic. It's getting a little off a little bit, whatever the case may be. Actually, if you're real smart, you can actually time her orgasm to the point to where you can put yourself right below when she about to come. Because there's a situation in most cases, again, her coming, her orgasm. Let's break that up, because if you put them together, they can happen together. I ain't gonna lie, they can happen together, but we don't want you to fuck it up to the point to where you motherfuckers think because she kick and scream that you done, because that ain't what is happening.
Normally,
But
when
what I'm
she
saying,
kick and scream, she just getting started.
pretty much. And so she put herself in a space of multi orgasms that she can create that space where you got enough time to get her there multiple times, and she is enjoying it, and she is in a whole nother world and everything
You
else.
feeling it?
And it makes you
I'm
it
stoned.
because at this point she trembling, she shaking, she can't be still and everything else. She in a good space. So yeah.
Hey, it is some other shit going on over here on this side of the
Hmm.
podcast, and
She
I
can't help
don't.
herself.
I
Pam,
okay.
look, Pam,
Let me.
Pam, Pam, Pam is coming back to herself, ain't she?
Okay.
Hmm.
Let me get to a couple of the comments. Lee
Mr.
says,
Johnson, you said that
Lord,
right down a motherfucker. He said, "Don't try to win the race every time." That's
yes,
it, bro.
don't try to win the race every time. You're going to get yourself fucked up
Hmm.
every time. Tasha said, you definitely don't want to win the race. Okay, Kelly Speed and Lee are having a conversation, and I'm kind of lost. I think they must be talking about a show that I know nothing about. Who is Lord Danbury? I have no idea. As in, like the books when we were younger, or is that a
Oh,
TV show?
they talking about Bridgington because old boy was in there just getting it off his chest, and he wasn't worried about what she was going
Oh,
through.
okay. I've never
Yeah,
seen it.
yeah,
That
yeah, yeah,
Bridgerton. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I've never seen it before in my life, people. I was completely lost. I was like, who are we talking about? Lee says you cannot tell these folks they can't orgasm if they aren't in the moment and worried about everything else too. Why can't we?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you got people that are not in the moment because they got paid to be in the moment, and they can still get you there where you need to be. And I won't lie and say that there isn't a problem with people not being there in the moment because it is a lot of y'all out here hunching and not hunching for the right reasons and ain't getting what you need out of it. But
Do we think
we ain't
that's
gonna
the
touch that.
biggest problem?
That's the
Well,
biggest problem.
I
It is.
I will say
Be
this.
honest, it is.
I will say this, and this is just me on the outside looking in, playing devil's advocate. A lot of y'all don't like y'all partners. That's what
Mm-mm.
I see.
They
Y'all
don't.
may like your trophy, you may like what's on your side, you may like for people to see who you with, but as far
Half the
as
time, there ain't no
physically,
trophies.
yes, they ain't no trophy. They really be church twos when y'all be calling them everyday sevens. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is when I see people interact with their partners outside of social media, it is the driest, deadest. Like I be like, do y'all even like each other? A lot of y'all, I just don't think like. What are you? You not supposed to be laughing a lot. I
You're
think.
right. I'm not.
I think you have.
No,
You have.
no.
I don't know what's going on. All I'm going to say is that I think that maybe if you start liking the people that you're physically intimate with more, it would help with the physical intimacy part. But okay, that's
Absolutely.
just my opinion.
No, 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 no,
I
no.
agree with
And
that.
that's a strong good opinion though, because it's a lot of motherfuckers laying up with the wrong motherfuckers that they have no type of connection with. Also, so we're gonna talk about connections. If we're gonna talk about the external pieces that
Oh,
we're
hey,
gonna talk
Brett.
about too.
I swear to
For
God, I
real,
want to ask Brett a question. I I need to
for real.
text Brett, ask her, can I ask this question? Because and she said no chemistry at all. And the reason why,
None.
because we all know some of the people who have been with some of the same people. We've heard that the sex is one way, but what is the chemistry like of
Right.
some of these people? And I just be thinking, y'all just don't really have a lot of chemistry with
Because
each other,
because
and every sexual act with that person is the same,
And every sexual act should not be the same with
the
every person.
exact
should
same
not,
with
I
every
shouldn't
person.
get
should not.
everything that everybody else got from AB. What Pamela gets
Absolutely.
should be different
Girl, do
from
I
what
always get much?
because
Yes.
I'm just
That's
saying what
real.
Pamela gets from Adrian because I didn't have sex with AB. I got Adrian. So
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
those who got AB didn't get what
Erica,
Pamela
turn
got
on this silly face.
because it's so different.
Hmm.
That's all
But
I'm
she being
saying.
real.
Everybody shouldn't get the same thing
She being
that
real.
everybody
She
else
being
got.
real. She being honest.
Mhm.
Because reality is a lot of times too. There's a lot of us that are out there in general. There's a lot of us in general that are out there that are in a space where you just trying to get that nut off your chest and you don't even like the son bitch you touch.
I can
You
contest
don't.
to that. And
No,
sex is
seriously, you don't
much
even like the
better
son
when
bitch
you
that's
like the
touching you.
person that you having sex with. Because when I stopped
Mm-mm.
liking the person that I was
I
having
have
sex
never
with,
been able to do that though,
well,
because if
I
I don't
mean, what?
like you, I can't physically
But
touch
it's
you.
different when you're married to the person and you're married.
Before,
And when you stop liking that person, but you still having sex with that
no,
person,
I'm
that be
sorry.
part
If
of the
I don't like
problem.
you, I can't
It ain't
touch
even
you.
married. It ain't
I
even
just
married.
cannot.
It just
No.
Well, you try.
there's a celestial connection. that people should have with each other when they are connecting with each other. I ain't never been married before, but I've had celestial connections with motherfuckers that I haven't touched in years, that I literally can walk in front of and stand and look at them and smile, and that motherfucker will do a reverb of everything that I've ever done to them right there in that space in front of them because of the celestial energy that I've created between myself and them. And so what we gonna do
But
is
it
we gonna
also can go the other way when you discuss it with them as well. They can give you a reverb of everything you did if you discussed it with them too. Now,
that's a
yes,
Because I have seen her in that place and she's like, I'm like, what? I just had a thought about when they touched me. And
the
I'm like,
one that she didn't feel well about this. Okay,
right.
and so
I'm
what we
like,
gonna
you
do?
still can. Okay, go ahead.
And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that to take us off into a space and say that if you are very connected with that person, that means you very invested in wanting to touch them. And so part of our discussion today, when we say we're gonna go from edging into the massages, and we're going to the space of enjoying each other, I'm gonna take us off into a space of knowing how to take your time before penetration ever happens. And so part of something that you have to have before penetration ever happens is knowing how to, because we gonna talk about the internal parts, the mental, everything else, but we're gonna talk about external today. And so one thing that is very important when it comes to a discussion of foreplay is making sure that you understand where to touch that person. And so this is man and woman. Do, women, do y'all know how to touch y'all man? Do y'all know that y'all man has heated spots on him that he would like for to be touched? For me, I love for my chest to be touched. I love for the back of my head to be touched. Those are my what they say hot spots. If you
Now, hold
rub the
on.
back of my
Lee,
head too
what is
long,
it with you in the back of these goddamn kneecaps? Every time you tap in, she talking about the back of
kneecaps.
somebody's kneecaps. I think she talking about for boys and girls. That way.
But that,
hey,
but that's a, but you know
It
what? From the
is. But
illustrations,
Lee must really like them kneecaps.
but from the illustration that I gave you earlier, behind your kneecaps is an erogenous zone. And if we
I
gonna
saw.
break away from sex, if we break away from sex, we can say that the French taught us when we use fragrances that neck,
There you
wrists,
go.
behind our knees, and our ankles. Those are spaces. Oh, in our
Those are
chest.
your heats. Those are your heat
Those
sensors, people. Those are your heat
and
sensors.
and so your heat sensors are also your erogenous zones. And so the key thing is between men and women, before you even try to reach penetration or anything else, figure out just how to touch and caress these areas. Know how to and it comes from a space of, I want you niggas to start washing your hands, men and women. I want you to get your toes and your feet manicured too, and I want you to kind of scrub some of that dead skin off of your hands too when you touching people, because they want softness. You can be firm, but then have some softness to your hands, because you're not supposed to touch me with your eagle's claws, and you ain't really washing your hands good because it look like you be smoking cigarettes down to the cushion in your thumb, your fingertips hard. You're not supposed to touch me with them. But what I'm saying is, in your neural massages and everything else, there is a space for you to learn your smells, your touches, and what you see with your sight. And so that's what I mean with your sight. You got to enjoy what you
This is
looking
stupid.
at. You motherfucker stupid.
Right.
You got to enjoy what you looking at. You got to enjoy what you looking at. You got to enjoy what you're touching. So don't get out here and say you love big women and then you in your feelings and you feel grossed out by touching them. You got to know how to touch
Shit.
them.
You see, they in an
For real.
uproar about that man massaging them big girls, talking about it's too much woman. It must be too much woman for you. If
It's
it's
too
too
much
much
for you,
woman
for
for
real.
you, that's fine. But you
and it's
can't stop
okay.
that man from rubbing his shit. He was doing a damn good job. Shit.
There you go. And
Um,
so in the now go ahead to the
I
comment.
was just talking. Well, in the comments, we Kelly keep throwing feet, so I'm going to assume that feet are a sensitive spot to her because she keeps throwing them feet out there. Um, Mr. Johnson said hands be like russet potatoes. Yeah, we don't want to touch or feel those. Um, Lee said that, baby, that's a hot spot. It be fire. We do know about the back of the kneecap and the top of the kneecap. I ain't gonna get into all that. Shan says that little fat behind the kneecap starts tingling when you tickle it. Really? Okay. Um, I'm going to why Uncle Trap is yeah, I ain't got time. I'm going to put up just a few erogenous zones,
There you go.
ears,
Give it to him.
neck.
You know about the back of
I
the
know
ears
all
and the
about
neck.
that. Ears, neck, small of the back. It's something about the small of the back, inner wrist. We also have
Hmm.
palm of hands and fingertips, scalp, the mouth, and the lips. Mm.
Uncle Trap know all about that scalp. He be grabbing women by
He
the
be
back of that
grabbing
neck
women,
and
yeah.
catching by the
We
hair.
got
Hmm
areola,
I do.
nipples, navel,
I
lower
do.
stomach, inner arm. I'm curious about people with
Hmm.
the inner arm and armpits because somebody didn't think that the inner arm and armpits was an erogenous zone at one time until they
Who
got
thought?
touched there,
Right.
and then they were like, "What in the fuck?" You know, they get their jump like, "What in the hell is going
Hmm.
on?" You
Who you
know.
Hmm.
talking about?
Hmm.
Who you talking about, girl?
Well, well, she had to understand that there was a difference between someone just touching her there and someone
And
being
touching it.
intentional when they and grazing her. See, there's a difference. There are women that I would touch this way, and there are women I'll touch this way.
It's a
Completely
difference in the
differences.
touch. I'm gonna say it's a difference
Difference.
in the touch. I'm
And
sorry.
I
There's a
want men to
difference.
understand because this is a violation. Men, if this woman is not your woman or not on the block to be your woman, stop putting your hand in the small of her back.
It
Women
please.
feel violated by that if they're not attracted to you. Now, let me say, if a
Absolutely.
woman is attracted to you, if a woman wants to take it a step further, or if you all are already in a sexual connection with each other, firmly but gently touching her in the small of her back and guiding her around, that does something for her. If you are not her
It does.
man, that's a problem for most women because they're like, why are you touching me? Like, don't touch me there. You don't
And
have the right to touch
Or,
me.
bruhs, y'all have that
or,
really bad.
Uh oh, I'm gonna let her
Bruhs,
have that
oh
stay
boy.
out the small of the back of these reds. All of us don't like your hand back there. Cause some of us have men and women that don't appreciate it. And some of us don't appreciate it either. Some of y'all bros love putting y'all hand in the small of the back of us. And it's not always appreciated nor wanted. So this is just a friendly little reminder. Keep your hands out the small of our backs. Cause it's not always
Hmm.
wanted. Thank you.
Right. Right.
Hmm
And the
straight
key
out the
thing
baby's
is
mouth.
too, I knew it was straight from my mouth. I think the next thing is too that in most cases, and this is man and woman, we got to feel like we have to feel comfortable with you. And so, not in all cases will it be a situation where someone feels like, oh, you're my husband or boyfriend or whatever the case may be. Just know that you've been allowed this safe space or this opening or that you have been given this boundary breach in order for you to be allowed to touch this woman in the small of her back or to hold her hand or to rub the back of her neck or whatever the case may be. A lot of you have not asked for the clearance in order for you to be able to do that. So
Right.
everything that we talk about, I don't care from the beginning show we didn't have to right now. Make sure you ask for clarity. Make sure that you are allowed to do these things because if you just go out here and random willy nilly doing it to anybody and everybody, you may get the shit choked out of you. So
I
don't do
saw,
that.
and I'm glad you said that because I just saw Cece make a post the other day. about a guy who was randomly like stalking her, was very aggressive, but they had business dealings. But several women on the post, she didn't mention anyone by name, all knew who this person was. So this guy just being a
Mm-hmm.
creep and a predator and not giving women these comfort that they feel. Fellas, you please take a step back and look at yourselves and know when the mood or the energy in the room has shifted and that it's no
Correct.
longer she's comfortable with you, she's uncomfortable, and you probably need to take a step back. I'm just saying, ladies and
Right.
men, because there's some too aggressive studs out here, some too aggressive films. I don't know where the hell y'all getting it from. Y'all just leave
Too
it
Yep.
aggressive women to
too
men.
aggressive women, too aggressive men. Y'all need to take a step back
Absolutely.
and get a picture of the room and see what's
Right.
going on. A few
And see what's going
comments.
on. Right.
Kelly said the palm of your hand. Yeah. When we were younger, I don't know. Does anybody else do that? When we were younger, people would do this in the palm of your hand. Can y'all see me
Hmm.
doing that? And we knew that was
Mm,
code for you wanted to
You
get
know,
my
I
booty.
had a man do that to me one day at work.
If a man do that
it
to you
was
at work, you
kind of
You
call me.
know who did
it's
it back in the
predatory.
day? Who
Who?
did that to me at work?
Probably the Thea's boy.
No,
Who? Ed?
Ooh.
Who? Was he
no.
white or black? I don't
At the
know.
shoe, the same person who walked up and took a sip of my drink.
Uh, the preacher. Lord,
Yes.
the nasty ass preacher.
Just
So
come home, grab my hand, and do that
and
in the
he's
middle
supposed to
of
be
it.
a damn preacher.
He wasn't a
But
preacher then.
that's something from our age range that if a guy walked up to you and rubbed the inside of your hand with his finger, it meant he wanted to fuck. And it was up to
Hmm.
you to decide if you wanted to continue the conversation with him or
It
not.
just creeped me out. I was
It creeped
like,
you out
because
because you didn't know what it was.
I didn't know him. I didn't even know you. How you just walk up to me, grab my hand, and
Correct.
do that? I don't know
Correct.
you.
That meant he wanted to put his dick on your forehead.
He didn't. He might have did, but that wasn't the reason
Wait,
why.
so he put his dick on your forehead?
No,
Oh, come on now. Hold on now. Now hold on. Not
he
my wife.
might have wanted to, but that you know what I mean. That wasn't gonna
Wow.
get
This
him to do
conversation's
it.
gone somewhere else.
Wow.
Enough.
Yeah.
While we're having this conversation, since we're on this, behind the knee, bottom of the feet and toes, inner thighs.
That inner thigh is a good one.
The inner thigh. Also, let's just get right to it. The pubic mound, cervix, the A spot, the clitoris, and the G spot. And listen, people, it is not a click, Oris. It's not a click. I see y'all all the time, CLICK or CLI. It is none of those words.
It drives me
Clicks.
nuts.
Yeah, okay? I just want
It,
y'all to know
it
and
drives me
understand.
nuts. It drives
It
me
drives
nuts.
me
I swear to
crazy.
God, it
You
do.
need to know it.
For
You need to know and understand
know
the
know
words that
what
are
you're
coming.
calling it. Know what you're calling it when you're trying to do your sexting or whatever you doing. Because some of you
Yes,
motherfuckers, I done seen some screenshots of y'all trying to talk a motherfucker into a piece of air, and it is the most
and it
depressing
does.
shit.
It does not work.
Ridiculous.
It does not work.
Right.
It's another picture. I have to. Did that picture not come up? Because this is one I think that they need to see for certain. Um,
Right.
because we don't want to leave out the men. Take a
Correct.
picture, ladies. Do I need to put this in the comments? The perineum. That's the parking lot. We have told y'all asses over and over about the parking lot. The
I
frenulum,
don't,
the glands, foreskin, prostate, the scrotum, and the testicles. I would hope that most of you ladies already know these zones and these parts. But from what I'm hearing from the fellas, a lot of
a
you.
lot of them
Wait, the
don't.
Staples button? Mr. Johnson, what's the Staples button? I'm scared
Mm-mm.
to ask.
A lot of them don't. Sadly,
So
a
when
lot
it
of them
comes,
don't.
I'm gonna put this back up here. So Jonathan, for
Yes.
you,
Hmm.
what's your most erogenous zone on this this cheat sheet? I guess what we calling
Mm.
it? This display.
And so, yeah, this is the display. This is the diagram. So
It's the diagram.
the The freninium, which is right there, I call it the line under the head. Perfect. Like if she know how to really work that area there, and the perineum, which is the parking lot, she can work them two right there, and she got some vision. She the best person in the whole world to me, for real.
And understand the parking lot. He said, "Do not touch his booty hole." We can't say the word, but we don't want y'all to flag us.
Do not, do not, because that means if you touch my ooter hole, it's over.
And I'm gonna have to kick you in the nose.
We done.
You don't
We
have no
done.
business down there.
Mm-mm.
But listen and understand, we're not knocking any man. That
No,
if that's his
absolutely.
erogenous zone, every man, every woman, every person has a different erogenous zone. What
Because
we're saying,
because
because
on that
ladies
same
keep asking,
diagram,
what about Uncle Trap? What about Uncle Trap? If you touch his booty hole, he's gonna kick you in the nose and kick you out his
so
house.
this and you going to
Stay
the big
with the
people jail.
parking lot, people. The
You go,
parking lot.
you're going to
You
big
going to
people
big
jail
people
for
jail.
molesting him.
For real. You going to big people jail. But to bring you back to what you just said, the diagram that was in the middle, they did mention the prostrate. There are some men out there, and it does not make them gay. That they appreciate that part being touched or whatever the case may be. There are certain ways to do that. There are certain situations that come with that. Again, I know a lot of these niggas on my show, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, that's gay, motherfucker. Don't touch me right there." No, because I don't want you touching my hood dog. That's just it. This is plain and simple. I don't want you touching my hood dog. What we saying is that learn the person that you with and figure out where and where you can't touch them. Because reality is a lot of you niggas don't know how to figure out the pressure points on even how to touch your woman. Giving them squeezing in and think you giving the right kind of massage, and she sitting up there bruising up and squeezing and bending down and she hurt. You don't know how to touch your woman, bro. Learn how to touch your woman. For real.
I
Because if you
have
learn how to touch them, you ain't got to worry about me touching.
I
Shit.
have a few comments that are for you and girl Pam. First, Candace Nicole say, "Woo, hey Miss Pam."
Hey, Candace Nicole.
Oh, you got to. You know, her and Tanya went to Arkansas without us, but that's a story for another day. They ain't asked us to come find no diamonds or no men's or nothing. But okay, we gonna get on your ass later. Next comment, Carrie A. Dub says, but they say that's an instant erection, talking about if you touch the prostate. So
For certain men, it is. Yes. Again, no demand that you're with. Because if you have not had the conversation and you go in on the wrong one, and then you trying to figure out why you between the Texas Street Bridge and the aquarium, that's why. The fuck? Like,
Okay, so let's ask this. Tell us what your erogenous zones are in the comments.
right.
yes, in the
Adrian, come on.
comments.
So I know yours,
In the
but go and
oh,
tell us
my
what
erogenous
yours is.
zone.
But
Hold on, let me go back.
ladies and gentlemen, put your
Look at
in the
Trina.
comments.
Trina said, "Don't touch my prostate." I'm
Trina,
Trina,
like,
you do not have a prostate.
Trina,
look, I'm like
Trina,
Mr. Brown. Medea got a prostate.
Trina, I can't laugh that long like that, Trina. I'm not about to play with you.
oh god,
Another comment for you, Jonathan. Okay, Kelly said
mm.
that foreskin. Let me bring the picture up. Kelly said that foreskin equals extra skin.
And so I never mentioned foreskin because I don't have that. I don't have that. But
Didn't I
for the
tell
ones
y'all
that
that I
do,
cannot be
that may be
laughing? I
good.
am not about. I got to get off here with this.
Oh shit!
Now y'all
Ooh,
know I can't be
I
laughing.
got my back hurt. Okay.
Ooh, I don't have that. But yes, she is correct. The foreskin is a sensitive space for some men. And so then notice that she keep posting her feet.
I don't.
There are some
Yes.
situations to where there are some guys that appreciate a woman to lube her feet up in order to, jack
Have you
him off.
ever?
You know,
I'm sorry. I have to ask because you brought it up. So for you that didn't hear what he just said, there are men, there are women who are known to wrap their feet around a man's penis and massage it. Have you ever
I
tried
done
that?
fucked some feet. I done fucked some feet.
Just like there are
Hell.
men who put theirs in between a lady boobs and they fuck their boobs.
Oh
No
my God,
different.
Yes.
y'all nasty.
No
Hmm.
Yeah,
different.
I know
But
all about the boob,
but
but just the
she had some pretty feet though. She had some pretty feet, and they
You
not.
were
probably
very
done
well
put
Hey, don't
maintained.
do it.
you probably done put it in
Mhm.
somebody's
She
boob.
had pretty feet. She had purty feet.
She
She
had
had
some
some
pretty
purty
feet,
ass feet.
little, for real. And she
Okay.
did it so well. I left my remains on her toes too. So yeah, that's
Did you
Just
say
mm,
you left your
nasty.
remains on her toes? Oh my God.
mm, mm.
Kendra Bowman says, I want my bones rubbed during the massage. Get in there. So, Kendra, you like deep tissue? I can't do that deep tissue.
I do
Real?
too.
Yeah, no, you should stop. Don't do that. That deep tissue, they be going through hard. I'm a big old soft teddy bear.
Listen,
Don't be handling me all hard like I'm a nigga. Be like, oh, what?
listen,
What? I be in the massage
Mr.
trying to
Johnson,
fight.
Mr. Johnson say not no Eagles talent. He ain't lying. He ain't lying. You
No,
can't
not
have no Eagle talent.
no,
Ooh.
no Eagles talent.
Mm-mm.
So I'm curious.
I'm still waiting for these erogenous zones.
Well, Kelly put hers first.
Kelly say hers is her
Kelly,
feet.
feet. So Kelly, should I ask? Can I ask? So is it your
Mm.
feet or their feet? And is it your feet like in their mouth or on their body or them just touching your
Oh
feet?
Jesus!
I'm just
Oh,
curious.
she
I'm just
probably.
curious.
I didn't want the
So she
visual.
But see,
probably. So
I
she
don't get
probably.
games like that.
Well, so I did. I was with a woman one time, and she did like to be on her back with her knees bent, with her toes in my mouth, while I had my meat laying on top of her pussy. And so then her job was, if I was sucking her toes just right, she reached down there and put me inside of her. When yeah, mm, hmm
Disclaimer from the executive producer. Mark, please do not flag this live.
Whoever finna report this live, fuck y'all, because I know it's coming. Fuck you right now, because it's coming. Y'all finna flag us. And Lord, okay, some of the comments, Mr. Johnson said he does not have a turtleneck either. Tarsha says she don't do turtlenecks, they scare her. However, she has done shaft massages with her feet. That is pretty sexy. Okay, Lee said my feet got in mouths turned me into a whole fish out of water. And there you have it. Chan's
hmm
erogenous zone is boobs, tits, and foot fucking is a thing. Chan,
hmm
Chan, you getting your feet fucked up?
No, she fucking with her
hmm
feet.
Wait, what?
Foot,
Hold on.
foot
No, that's
fucking.
not what she said.
She said foot fucking. Why would she get her feet fucked?
If her feet is on the shaft of the bed,
That's what I'm saying. You act like she was getting her feet fucked.
I just don't want to know. I'm not as grown as I thought I was. Fuck it. I'm just not as grown.
Okay, so
Okay, moving on.
what's your no? What's your erogenous zone?
My erogenous zone.
Hmm.
Oh gosh, I'm
Although
not
I
gonna
know,
tell.
but come
I
on,
don't know. I
you
don't have
lying.
one.
Come on.
My erogenous zone is probably my neck.
Mhm.
My neck. Under
Definitely.
my ear.
Mhm.
Yeah, that little.
Mhm.
Is that my parking lot? So is that my version of the parking lot? It's not my ears, and then it's not my chest,
It
and
is
it's my
also your ear,
yeah,
but
it's my
definitely
ear too. But
right
right
back
there,
here and her
hey,
hair too.
hey,
Oh,
don't touch my
okay.
neck. Don't
But
touch
see,
my
that's
neck
what you
now.
got. But look. What you got to understand, everybody got a parking lot, so you good either way.
Right. Whoa, but don't touch my parking lot at all. You can play with Jonesboro parking lot. When it comes to my parking lot, hey, look.
But you want to play my parking lot all
Oh
day
yeah, but
long.
I play with your parking lot all day
You
long.
see what's
But when it comes to my parking lot is for parking cars,
Boy,
and
it
I
got
don't
real
See,
need
dark
trees
in there.
there.
this is a double standard, people. Double standard.
Shit, no, I'm
It
just
got real
saying.
dark in there, boy.
This is a double standard.
I meant what I said. uh,
Look, she said,
anyway,
let's be
did
very
not
clear.
say. Let's be very clear. You know what I'm saying. The areas between Cancer Code say the areas between my fingers are super sensitive. People never notice. They typically go for the obvious places. So you get finger food?
Right.
Wait. So in between here? Oh, I mean, it's very sensual. So, yeah. I mean, I never thought about it. I can lick
Yeah.
between
I
there,
mean,
but
the
I never
concept,
thought about.
but that's what she's talking about. She's talking about lick between that. Yeah. Because the key thing is when you are enjoying the erogenous zone,
Wait,
you're using whatever.
I've been trying to figure out what the fuck Kelly Speed comment was. So I saw J and O. So I was like, Joe, Joe. I kept trying to read it. Well, further down, she talking about Jonathan. I couldn't get it all out. So she was trying to give Jonathan. Got it. Because that shit had went over my head. You got it.
All
I got it because
righty.
I was reading.
You read it?
Okay.
I was reading
I
it.
didn't read it. Okay, my bad.
Okay.
Michael Carmack
Yeah.
said that thing started
No,
jumping like
let
the
me tell
little
you what
party
the
in
problem
altitude.
is.
What?
You ate your muffin.
I did eat some of my
This is what the problem is, Jonathan. This is the problem.
Yeah.
Jonathan, didn't I tell you that my muffins was not gonna last the whole 2 weeks of my recovery?
Hey,
This is
You
the
did tell
reason
me
I
that.
why.
am
You
in
did tell me
recovery
that.
too. I am trying to shake back my skin. It's been a rough month. My skin broke out of
Hey,
stress.
hey, baby, come on, stay focused,
Yeah,
stay
stay
focused.
focused.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. But no, it is. That's the
Go ahead,
concept.
Jonathan.
Yeah. The concept of it is that, your tongue, your fingertips, and whatever other part of your body you would like to use in the concept of you enjoying that space with the person that you with. So when she said between her fingers, it could be someone's tongue between her fingers. It could be, someone running their fingers between theirs. There is a woman that I've been with that if I locked hands with her while I was in stroking her, it would send her into a complete
Yeah.
frenzy. So what she would do, she would wait to a certain point before we would do the whole finger interlock. I knew when she did that, she was ready to come. So erogenous zones are something that we all got to think about. But
Sounds
I do
very
want to take us
familiar.
here. Look, I want to take us here before we get too far.
Yes,
Always make
please
sure that
bring
you
it.
know how to. Always know that you know how to touch a person based on scent and making sure that it's moisturized. Meaning, I want you to start interjecting oils and butters into what you're doing. Because a lot of you motherfuckers are giving people carpet burns because you don't know how to give proper massages. Because you are just touching and rubbing with these bare ass
Use this
fingers
oil.
that you've used all day and you ain't done
Great
nothing
one.
with it. So lavender, carrot, apricot oil. There's many oils that are out there. There are shea butters. There are different. Uh, it's just cocoa butter. Like there's so many different things that are out there that you need to utilize. And then at certain temperatures too, you got to understand. There's a difference between me rubbing you with lavender oil and me actually heating that oil up before I touch you. Lavender relaxes, so it takes you to a whole different space with that. Yeah, it takes you to a whole different space. So it is. It's all a learning experience. It takes you to a whole different place. If you do your homework and you know the motherfucker that you learn with, that's where you at.
You had everybody else to answer. You didn't answer what was your erogenous zone. Why you put me on Front Street? I just thought about that.
Really?
You damn right. You don't come back and not get in the hot seat.
Um, let me see. Let me see the diagram again.
You want to see the ladies
Oh,
or the fellas?
she
What you
said.
want? It's several of them.
Well, what you think mine are? What you
Shit,
know?
you got so many.
So what you think? As well
Girl,
as answer.
you made me answer, but you gonna make me answer for you too.
Let me see how well you know me.
I know you
Okay,
quite well.
let's see. What's your answer?
You might say you too can prevent forest fires. Um. Anyway,
Okay.
you just gonna skip right over there, huh?
Okay.
What she say?
So my inner thighs, the areolas, and the nipples.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
And so
And
and so
a
since
little
y'all
choking.
Mm.
there you go. Run the net. There you go. So what we have noticed is in the comments ain't too many people kind of mention where theirs are. So what we gonna do is probably for the portion of the next show, probably close to the end, we gonna make people identify what their erogenous zones are. And so the thing is, you ain't
Yeah.
got to have somebody else to identify this. Identify it with yourself. Again, I don't know why I got to keep telling
Hey,
y'all
look,
to
people.
touch yourself.
This is a safe space. You know, I don't
Very
give a fuck
safe.
who I cuss out. This is a
Very
very
safe
safe
space.
space. Your content stays
For
here
real.
with us. We're just all one big happy family. We have our
For real.
own version of a family reunion, and this is a safe space. Anything we talk about, it is to educate, not to slander, hurt, or harm. Only to
Oh, you
educate,
know,
people. Only to educate.
but we're trying to educate a lot of you because, at the end of the day, you are not identifying that some of your partners are not pleased. And so when your
Right.
partners are not pleased and you think that you're doing something, you're really not doing anything, you need to go back to the drawing board and take some of this education that we give you. For real.
Yeah, I think that's the
Oh.
biggest problem. Like earlier, you said because you were talking to the men. I'm going to talk to the men and the women. A lot of you just
Mm-hmm.
are not as good of a sexual partner as you think you are. Period. And I'm just gonna be real. Your partner ain't gonna tell you. Your friends ain't gonna tell you because you've talked to your friends about all these trash ass dudes you've met, ladies and fellas. You've talked to your friends about all these girls that they you didn't ran through them or they didn't ran through you and they didn't went on. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times it's just got to do with the sexual chemistry. And I'm not saying you're just trash at sex, period. You may just be
Mm-mm.
trash at sex with that person. And your sexual chemistry was not there. You did not find your sexual awakening with that person. They did not bring it out in you. And
Absolutely.
that chemistry just was not there. And it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're here to show you if you don't have that chemistry, or you may think that the chemistry with your partner is the bomb snickety dum dum, and your partner is like, it's okay.
Look, I have a question,
Uh
Jonathan.
uh
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I tell Adrian, it's not really a question. I tell Adrian all
Mm-hmm.
the time because she is a woman, but she has
Mm-hmm.
extensions of her body that are sexual parts. Her
Mm-hmm.
tongue, her lips,
Mm-hmm.
her fingers. She doesn't have to fuck
Correct.
people just with her
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
sexual part. She has other parts that she can fuck people with. Okay. Same thing as a man. You know, you have a tongue, your fingers, y'all have extensions of your body. So some
Correct.
people don't
Correct.
think
We
that
do.
just because their sex might be trash with their original sexual part, that they can heighten their sexual experience with their extensions of their body. Just because your dick game might be trash, you could get your oral game to be a little bit better, or you could work your finger game, a little bit better. So
Correct.
people could get their extensions of their selves, get them up a little better if maybe they're lacking in
damn
their
Tasha.
other body part that they have. So
That's
you
true.
could probably work on the other
Give me
senses.
that chicken stick.
Because
Give
I
it to me.
tell her all the time, oh yeah, I'd be like, hey, don't put your fingers, your mouth, your tongue,
Finger
or your
on.
fingers on or in anybody because those are extensions of yourself.
Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
Right.
Correct. That is so true. Yeah.
That is
I mean,
Well,
correct.
I didn't
but
hear not one
and
question.
there's well, no. She had a statement to remind us
Hmm.
of
To
certain
remind
situations,
you guys, yes.
but we've had situations that have happened where we didn't understand the concept that we have to be careful with the way that we extend those different things to the wrong person
Hmm.
because you give something to the wrong person and you can make them nut as a fruitcake and never ha- have ever been inside of them ever, you know,
My
at
bad.
all.
But
Right.
not make them nutty as a fruit crate. But I'm also saying that you can also use those extensions of your body to heighten your sexual experience.
You
Like
can.
there,
You can.
case in point, somebody whose stamina isn't very good with their main body part, their dick can't keep up with a woman. then add a little pleasure by upping your game with your oil. And throw a
Absolutely.
little
And it kind
massage
of
in
takes
there.
us,
Learn.
and I think
Yeah.
it takes us back to it takes us back to the place where, we watch social media and we watch a lot of these people getting their feelings about toys. And at the end of the day, you kind of want to tell them, hey, them toys actually will provide an extra space to help you in those situations to where you can continue and enjoy and everything else. Because I think what people don't understand sometimes, you do know the length of sex is not just the penetration. The length of sex begins with the foreplay all the way to the end of the orgasm and the climax at the end. So even when you get to the
Till
end,
somebody tap out. That's when it
till
ends.
somebody tap out, and well, it don't even end at the tap out. It ends after the aftercare, because even at the
Oh yeah.
aftercare can actually reunite
You
sex again.
said, doesn't
It
that
does.
aftercare can turn things back over? You done had another
There
round
you
and
go.
another aftercare and
Right.
everything. I'm
Hmm.
telling
Good. So
A
you can
few
be
of the
there.
comments,
you.
Oh Lord.
a few of the comments. Lee said, "I had some head so amazing, but that man gave me some doochie." So
Mm-hmm.
that
So
Oh
I'm
boy.
means
saying the dick was trash, but that
Hmm.
head was everything. I'm telling you, that extensions of your body. Both of them was kind of bad. I'm just saying,
Oh
but
boy.
I'm just saying, but
AB, why did
fellas,
you
it's
ask her that?
possible.
I
AB,
just
why
was
did you ask her
curious.
that?
She act like she
Why
was
did you ask her
reminiscing
that?
shit. I just wanted to know what it was.
No, I'm just
Why
saying,
did
but
you
it is
take her there?
possible. See, Lily said it's possible, so I'm
Why
just
y'all
saying.
took her
Kendra
there?
says that aftercare make you care again.
It do.
Tarsha says even after the tap out, that back massage or areola testing can start another
Ooh, it
fire.
does.
Let me
That
tell
that
you.
little caress or that little pass by
Mm-hmm.
touch that they be doing just to make sure they
Mm-hmm.
still got it. Whew.
Mm-hmm.
Kendra
Because I know,
Bowman says
look,
story time. Kendra, I got a story, but you all might not want to hear it. Go ahead,
look,
boo.
look, look.
I'm
Because
telling
at
you,
the
when
end of
they
the
pull
day,
out, that pull out
mm-hmm,
orgasm is everything. When they pull out and
mm-hmm,
you get that last little orgasm when they pull out, oh Jesus, I'm telling you.
mm-hmm.
Whew.
I feel
Because
so
the
holy sitting
perineum,
beside me.
look, because when you take that perineum and you pull it just halfway out, and you have that perineum sitting right there before that actual head comes out,
What's up,
and
man?
she do that clench, and she catch that last one, and then you lay next to it, and then
I'm
look,
just
look,
saying, when them legs get to
look,
trembling, now you
hmm
know.
and look,
I'm
and
telling
then and that's when you get next to it and you do that cuddle, but you lay yourself right in the crack of her ass, and then you give her that massage, but then you grab her neck one more time, and she ready to go again. That's
Or
somebody
you
that's the
likes
one
to
laying
right
start
there.
biting that inner thigh.
biting the inner
Mm.
thigh, laying your head on their ass. It's something about laying your head on their
Mm-hmm.
ass and just
Mm-hmm.
massaging one cheek that just puts you
Mm-hmm.
right on out. Just lay
Or
your head
look,
on.
look, or you spank a spot and you go right behind it and kiss it after you spank it. You mm,
I'm so proud
mm,
of you.
mm, 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 mm. Look, look, she don't know. Look, she is very much okay with being your whore at that point, ain't she?
Yes.
Ain't she? She just surrendered.
Woo! Woo! Jesus.
That that high five was so
Okay.
classic.
I don't know what is wrong with her. Did you eat your muffin
Oh,
too?
no, bitch.
I ate my muffin. All your shit just been woke up tonight, huh?
I'm telling you,
She
I
is
am on the way back,
she
people.
is
I
on
am
the way to
on the
surgery. She
way
ain't
back.
thinking about surgery.
Mm,
Everything that woke up.
Mm.
Okay. And
ooh,
then yeah, I don't even know what the fuck I was gonna give Kendra a story time, but Kendra.
Kendra was talking when I was talking about them extensions of her body,
Oh,
Kendra.
oh.
Because I didn't have to tell her. See,
mm-hmm,
she fails to understand
Let no,
that
no, no,
this
no,
mm-hmm,
no.
tongue
Hold on.
and these
No,
lips
hold
and
on.
these fingers
So
are an
Kendra,
mm-hmm,
extension
this
of
is a
her
story
body.
time. So Kendra,
mm,
story time. So
mm-hmm,
it was this one particular person.
That I'm gonna have to beat her ass, Kendra. But okay, well, next time I see her, I'm beating her ass on sight. If that helps us say one more thing, I think she know I'm gonna beat her ass on sight, Kendra. But okay, come on.
Which one are you talking about?
Both
Wait a minute.
of them, one of them is protected by that old one. I'm
Mm,
protected, but that other one,
mm,
that one, she say one more
I
thing,
don't.
I'm gonna beat her ass on
Sometimes that
sight.
shield, I just say sometimes that shield protects y'all.
That shield
Y'all need to
runs
be
deep.
thankful for that shield.
Mhm.
However, Kendra,
mm,
it was this particular event or time she is talking about. I
mm.
had a certain person's mother in my car,
I'm gonna
and
beat her ass, Kendra.
we were just supposed to be going out to have some drinks, and I had a stick shift, and so
Let the record show this was before we were married, though, people.
yeah, this is way, whoa, way.
Long time ago. Long
Long,
time
long,
ago.
long, long, long,
So
long,
we
long, long,
like
long,
long, long, long, long, long, long, long, long,
long,
long,
long,
long.
long, long,
But I'm
long,
still
And I
long,
going
had
to
long,
a
beat her
long.
stick
ass.
shift. And so I called myself by driving my stick shift instead of my truck that night that I could deter her to leave me alone
But
because
this
I
gifted
had a
motherfucker over
I
here.
had a woman with a girlfriend on the side. I ain't had no more room on my plate.
But
And
the woman told her, this bitch wanna fuck you. Oh no. Oh no, it ain't gonna be nothing like that. We just going out for a drink.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, long story short, just know that I am quite well at driving a 5 speed and a woman at the same time.
Fucking and shifting at the same time with the extensions of
Clutching my
her
pearl.
body. Yes, Kendra. But just know and understand when
Hold
I
on.
see her,
Time to go.
I'm
I
gonna
think
beat
our
her ass
time has
if she
expired.
mentions it again,
Hold
Kendra,
on.
because she knew
Hold on.
that she had a woman
But
and
wait, hold
also
on.
knew that she had a girlfriend.
Hold on. Kendra said the story time she was referencing was Lee. So see, we done gave the wrong story. We
Look,
just done
I
told shit. We ain't got no
wait a
business
minute.
telling.
I saw Kendra say that, but I just looked at it and went, "Well, I'm gonna let them finish, so I ain't gonna stop them."
Next
Oh
time you
It's
need
goodness.
to
okay,
be.
Kendra.
Hey,
Kendra, she deserves this whooping though because
hey,
she be trying to throw it up. I think she know. Yeah,
look
I
here.
know. Mention it again, I'm gonna beat her
Look
ass.
here. Big trap uncle, you gotta be putting on your shit. You supposed to be like, hey, nigga. Hey, motherfuckers. She ain't talking to
Hey,
you.
You
look,
right,
wait,
Kendra. She deserves it.
my
And if she
look,
mentions it again, I'm gonna beat her ass for sure. I'm gonna beat her ass.
my apology. I'm on tequila old fashioned number 6. So at that point right there, the Mr. Tequila man said, "Hey, let them finish. Don't you fuck with it.
Look,
Don't you
we
fuck with
just
it. Let them
talking
finish."
and I'm telling my story. She tell her story. Kitchen like, excuse me, pardon me.
Look, look,
That is not what I
look.
was referencing.
I looked down at the other phone. I said, she wasn't talking about child, but keep going.
Lee, go drop your story in the comments because I ain't got nothing else. I'm just
Oh, y'all done. Y'all so
Oh,
done.
Jesus.
okay.
Oh,
No more muffins before the show because let's
mm-mm,
just put it. Anyway, bringing all of this back home.
mm-hmm.
Know your erogenous zone. People learn the art of edging. Edging is not just for men; it's also for women. I
Absolutely.
believe. Look, Keith, yes, please leave because I fucked story time all up.
Lee, we ain't in the group no more. Didn't we all get put out?
Yeah, everybody got put out the group.
They talk
Shit.
about a
We gonna
different one.
start
They talk about a
our
different one.
Oh,
Lee got her
I'm
own
not in
group. She
that
talk about
group.
a different.
I ain't in that group.
yeah, you need to be
Oh,
in there
okay.
because
Well,
we all got
we
put
go.
out. We all of
Yeah.
us get 29 of us get put out of a group. Yeah,
Jesus
Pam ain't
Christ.
never said nothing to get put out. We all
Exactly. I ain't never
Jesus
said that.
Christ.
This is the first group I've ever been put out of. I've never been in Facebook jail and I've never got put out
Yes.
of shit.
well, I find you in that
See.
thing now.
Lee just said she saw my worst behavior. We talking about that
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
not.
space. Yeah,
My
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Look, Trina
yeah,
said this show
yeah, yeah.
got me pregnant. Well, as
It
I come
happens.
around to
Who be the
who
pappy?
be
Tree?
having that baby boss,
Look, look,
um, no,
look.
he
It,
told him
it,
he was built like a tumor of Michelob. Michelob Light, Michelob Ultra. What he told that brother? Anyway, people, as we come back around, I'm gonna final thoughts. We're gonna start with John Pam.
Uh,
Because I just don't know how we get so
whew.
so off.
Final thoughts, people. My final thoughts is know your zones, learn your partner zones, have fun with learning your zones, whew, and have fun with those extensions of your body. They can work magic.
You are so out of line. So freaking out of line. Jonathan, big trap uncle.
Whew.
For the record, Trina said we are all her baby daddies. Me, you, and girl Pam. That's what the streets say anyway. Okay. Big
I will
trap
say
uncle.
it's been a quadruple whatever you want to call it for a long time. So yeah. No, and the thoughts is just the concept of just knowing how to learn each other. Take out that time to just have those spaces before penetration. Just learn each other, just touch each other. Um, One of the positions that I missed talking about tonight was you taking out that time to be selfless and let that person that you're giving that massage to sit between your legs with your back up against the wall, the couch, the headboard, whatever it may be, and just taking that oil and exploring their entire body and enjoying that whole space. And then if you want to do, as we call a happy ending, you can
Mm-hmm.
reach down and you can shake her to the beyond of Wakanda and the exit past Wakanda that you have to get off of to go to Wakanda. Explore that space, and eventually, if you can make a woman and talk in her ear, use your voice. Talk a woman through her orgasm. Talk her through that space. Don't just sit there. I'm sorry. But it is some about watching some of y'all hand out these little videos of y'all interaction and to know that y'all ain't even talking to each other. You just there, ain't no noise, and you just sitting there looking like you a humpty dog. And I'm just confused because I'm like, wait a minute. You don't know how to talk that woman through her orgasm. You don't know how to help her finish. You don't know how to tell her that she your whore. You don't know how to tell this person that I want that out of you. Like, what is wrong with some of y'all? Like, it's depressing to see some of these videos y'all put out. It make me feel like that y'all go in Google and say, please give me the noises that you're supposed to make when you have sex. And then y'all just let Google tell you the noises that you're supposed to make. It's horrible.
The moans ain't moaning,
Alexa,
right?
Alexa, Alexa, how they supposed to sound?
Right.
The
And that's what it
moan
feel like. It's almost like you going, hey Google, tell me what sex sounds like. Like y'all get on my motherfucking nerve. So as much as y'all want to be impressed with these
girl.
videos y'all send out, please stop.
Hey, stop,
I'm just
girl.
saying, just please, because you're weighing me out, and I'm tired.
You're wearing
So
it
yeah,
thin.
yeah. So yeah, that's my ending thoughts. Yeah,
Well, coming around to me, my ending thoughts were, as everyone said in the comments again, congratulations, Big Trap Uncle, on the twins. We're so excited and
absolutely.
looking forward to them getting home
Real
safely and
talk.
doing well. We're glad everyone is doing well.
Real talk.
What's the word I need to put in the comments for tonight? Last week was edging and erogenous zones. What they need to learn about?
I don't know. This week we did external. Next
External
week we're
pleasures.
gonna
We're gonna
do
do internal pleasures.
internal pleasures next week. So I need people to think about mental stimulation. That's one, mental stimulation. I want people to talk about how to talk someone through their orgasm and ejaculation. So I want to know, do you know how to talk a person through that? Because sometimes your stroke and your gripping ain't enough. Sometimes we want to know, do you know how to talk that person through that? That's what we want to know. We want to know the internal sides of this shit. And then the next thing I want to give something to the women.
Oh, Mr. Johnson and put some references out there. Come on, Mr. Johnson. Come on in the room.
Look,
My
I want to give what I want to give you is for the women next week. I want to know for yourself by yourself, have you ever had a core gasm? I'm gonna say once again, for the women, by yourself to yourself, have you been able to use your mind and give yourself a core gasm? That's what we're gonna talk about next week.
Got that, ladies? So,
Mm-hmm.
with that, Kendra Bowman, I wish I had one. With that being said, we want to thank you all for coming out. We
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed you all on the Some Think Forum. Y'all see that?
What's your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are I know all about orgasms, erogenous
Mm-hmm.
zones, edging, and talking a woman through her orgasm.
Hmm.
I
I can
know what
confess to
I'll
that.
say if I had a PP. Oh Lord.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so with that being said, what I posted was an after dark live. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm going to check that out. We hope you all tune in next Wednesday, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Facebook and YouTube Live. Some Think for the People podcast. We're here to educate y'all. Any
Absolutely.
questions you have, please don't hesitate asking. As stupid as they may sound or come across, I answer them anyway because I want people to know better. So don't be like, I
Please.
can't ask that. Yeah, you can ask that because I want you to know better and think differently than
For
what
real.
your question actually shows. So
For real.
next week, bring
Seriously.
a friend. Bring a friend. This is about to get real interesting, and we not letting up. We putting our foot on your necks and going full throttle because y'all
Mm-hmm.
got to learn something. Okay, I don't want y'all
Please.
left behind. No
Pretty
child
please.
left behind. And I'm
For real.
not
Cause they
putting
weighing
in
me
no
out.
more questions. No, no, no child left behind in my podcast. We love you all for free. Girl, Pam, it's been wonderful having you back. Give me this.
Thanks, honey. No, you're so sweet.
She makes me sick, y'all. See you next Wednesday. The children are peeping around the corner like, y'all ain't through with this shit. We got to go. Love you for free.
Bye.
See you soon. Stay safe. True report. Stay safe. Please stay safe.
You're still here, man. I am.